Well, stunning would be one word to describe the dramatic shift in the Democratic presidential primary. But let's ask NBC's Chuck Todd, moderator of Meet the Press, for maybe a better word. And Chuck, if I were to have said to you a week ago today that there was a better than 50-50 chance that Joe Biden would be standing in Milwaukee as the nominee, you would have said...
I mean, I would have said that, what did I miss? Did Bernie Sanders drop out of the race? I mean, I say this because, look, I'm not surprised. What's funny is a year ago, Charles.
Right.
It felt like this was going to be, might end up being a two-person race between sort of the Bernie wing and the Biden wing. And, the question was, would Bernie win his lane, or would Elizabeth Warren become the progressive candidate? Would Biden win his lane, or would Kamala Harris, Beto O'Rourke, insert name here, be the person? And it turned out, nope, it's Bernie and Biden, right, all along. And so it is amazing, like, what we thought would be the case 9 months ago turned out to be the case, but oh my God,
right.
I had no idea we'd get there this way.
Or this fast. Let me ask you something else that's very much on the mind of American voters, the coronavirus. I was talking to Senator Johnson this week, and he was saying, look, this is a new virus. No one could have gotten this 100% right. But when you look at the politics of this, how does it play out, and is it already part of the equation in the presidential race?
Oh, I think it's just beginning as a political issue. I think right now it's less of a political issue than we sometimes in the political media indicate. I think right now people are just looking at this through the prism of their own lives, whether they have relatives in living in a senior facility, whether they have kids traveling on spring break. I really think that this is not being absorbed yet as fully as a political issue, except by the politicians. Now, that said, this is one of these, to borrow a cliche, one of these black swan events that can consume a presidency for a period of time. I mean, think of the oil spill in the Gulf with Barack Obama. That came out of nowhere. It consumed his presidency for a good 3 months. The Iran hostage crisis with Jimmy Carter. Yeah. That had, he had nothing to cause it. It just happened on his watch, and then it consumed the last year of his presidency in a re-election year. And it did have an impact. And so that's how to look at this. I mean, let's see where we are, but this is one of those issues that could just consume the Trump presidency. And there's nothing he did to cause it, but then he'll get measured by how he's handling it. And I think for now, the reason the president's getting a mixed bag here a little bit is that his initial reactions seem to be through the prism of his own reelection worries, rather than thinking about it as, hey, the best politics here is to just manage the public health crisis.
That's why we have Chuck Todd here. Thank you, Chuck Todd. And by the way, if it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press. You can watch Chuck Todd right here on TMJ4 every Sunday morning at 8.